Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is June Archer, and I'll be your host for this evening. Tonight, we have a special presentation celebrating Black History Month through spoken word. The artists that are going to grace the stream this evening are some amazing poets. They are good friends of mine, and I have been blessed to call them my brothers and my sisters. And I hope tonight you will be blessed in watching them share their spoken word, their creativity that they've put on pen and paper that they are going to share with us. I want to thank a few people before we get started. I want to thank Ardsley Race for allowing us to have this event and sponsoring it by sending it out to the community, as well as A&G Insurance and 1128 Entertainment. This program is part of Hot Chocolate Soul, something that I host in my hometown, Hartford, Connecticut, that provides a platform for music, comedy, and poetry with live band. But due to this pandemic, we have not been able to do anything live, but we are here in your homes to warm your hearts and share the gift of spoken word. So sit back and relax, and I promise you, you will be blessed because of it. And without further ado, I'd like to bring in my first performer. Please welcome to the stage, Michael Chief Peterson.
Yeah.
Brother Chief, how are you this evening?
I'm fantastic, my man. How you doing?
I can't even express how excited I am to have you on this stream. And I know that those who are watching and listening are going to be blessed because of it. And I'm going to let you take it away. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stream, Michael Chief Peterson.
Yo. Happy Black History Month, my people. I didn't want to start off dark and heavy, but in the spirit of my brother, anniversary is Monday. Monday's the anniversary. I felt compelled to do this piece, so here we are. It's titled Hard Things. There's a 7-year-old crying over a man she's never met, as if they held hands in an afterlife before her life even began. She remembers his birthday and asks to go see him. I watch her trace the letters of her name in his headstone. Mia, Julian. She is his namesake. Tears flow down my daughter's face, and I give her the stiffest embrace I can muster. Right before we leave, she mantles her arms around this structure, giving it the most solid of hugs. This is the way she has learned to love. I come from a long line of men whose first love letter was a eulogy. From the era of stop crying before I give you something to cry about. From pick your head up and poke your chest out even when you're scared. From boy, you better man up. Black men have always been taught to be tough. Can never let them see you sweat or cry. We were taught to hide the heavy, taught to be tough, hard, inside and out, taught to never let what's inside out or vice versa. Stand firm, be statue. Sometimes that makes us hard to love. But when you're raised by a rolling stone in a concrete jungle, you got no choice but to be rocked. The block was our home. No doorbell, just hard knocks. It was hard not having a father, but I was raised by a brick house. My mama. You see, I inherited this cement in my veins, me and my brother. And the more rocks change, the more they stay the same. Hard. Us bricks don't fall far from the building. He was every bit of Twin Tower turned rubble. Every bit of hard head makes soft ass, hard hat, private first class. Couldn't tell him he wasn't part adamantine. Not quite Wolverine, but an X-Man now. Couldn't withstand a storm of bullets to his chest. He was every bit of hard. Just not Kevlar. Do you know how solid you have to be pillar and pallbearer? To have to lift him up only to let him down and still be foundation for family and still be still? Be stable, be structured. Can't let them see these cracks. Growing up tightrope in the fault lines of an earthquake, we prepare ourselves for the fall. It's bound to happen. So we grew to be hard. Most times, hard to love. And when you have brick in your bloodstream, you can't expect it not to affect your seeds. My baby girl got gravel in her jeans. I don't want her yellow brick road paved in pain, so I placed her between a heart and a hard place so she learns to love hard things and just be the kind of heart I need her to be, a gem. She's beautiful and shining, and when you put enough pressure on a rock, you make a diamond, and she's constantly reminding you how Black women, regardless of the situation, have always been able to love us. Hard. I used to avoid letting her see my scars and my tears, and I was taught to be tough, be strong, protect and provide, but have you ever seen a rock cry? then why would I show my daughter that? To her, I am every bit of mountain, and she loves me for who I am. And I'll make sure she understands that contrary to what she hears, bricks and stones won't break your bones. They will love you, hug you, squeeze you, and raise you be a diamond. It's fine if you princess cut into your feelings and learn to love hard things. On Sundays, we go see her Uncle Julian. I watch her trace the letters of her name in his headstone. Right before we leave, she mantles her arms around this marble structure, giving it the most solid of hugs. Between her father and her uncle, the tombstone, this is how she has learned to love. Hard.
My man, that was an amazing piece.
I appreciate you.
I'm looking forward to the Q&A piece of this because I have so many questions to ask you about that piece.
I'm ready when you are, boss.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please, one more time for Chief. And now, we're going to keep this thing going, and I'm going to bring the next artist to the stage. Please welcome Biggs, the poet. Biggs, how you doing this evening?
I'm good, Archer. How you doing, brother?
So good to see you. I know you're traveling. I know you're traveling safe. And I know you're excited. You have been one of the shining stars of Hot Chocolate Soul. And I'll look forward to getting back on stage with you when we have that opportunity back at the Bushnell Theater. But tonight, we're just going to be talking about Black history through spoken word. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stream, Biggs, the poet.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. A letter to my sons. Now, boys, I know daddy kind of hard on you, but it's hard out here. And I'm just trying to instill the fear of God in you. It's like I'm guarding you, trying to protect you from some of life lessons. Because it's been declared that it's war against the Black man. And we ain't dying from old age no more, it's sick. So many parents burying their kids. They disappearing before they even get a chance to exist. Prepping for funerals when they should be prepping for their SATs. Reciting eulogies when they should be writing their dissertations. One nation under God, individual, liberty and justice for all. Well, that's bullshit, y'all. Because liberty got a badge and gun, and the nation done had her back since day one. So run for your life, my sons. Because the truth is, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. And I know you hate taking advice from your father, and I know that one day I'm going to have to let go. But I just want to give you some direction so that maybe one day you can find your way home. Because all I already know is that they don't really care about us. They're scared because of what they hear about us. America's the land of the free and the home of the brave. But boys, we ain't been free since slavery. And well, our bravery, that's been misinterpreted to us just being a tad bit over aggressive. But what you expect when you at the bottom of the food chain and got to figure out different ways to survive in order to maintain. Basically, boys, what I'm saying is never turn the other cheek. That's a sign of weakness. Earn your keep and never deter from what you believe in. And you are your brother's keeper. So when nobody around, you got to hold each other down because this is all we got. And you never wish death on no man. And never take God's will into your own hands unless your life demands you to. And DJ, you the man of the house if I ain't around. Take care of your baby brother and you look after your mother. And I hate that I got to even have this conversation with you. But these some real issues in the world we're going to have to get through. And I hope things change. But for now, sadly, you got to have a soldier's mentality. It's kill or be killed either with brute force or with kindness. But boys, Never lose your alignment with God. And by no means, never compromise who you are, because you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. Sincerely, Daddy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Biggs, the poet. Biggs,
Appreciate
that one hits home. That one hits home. That's a very strong piece. I
Yo.
appreciate you for sharing that. And as I said with Chief, I'm looking forward to having a Q&A with you to discuss pieces of your work. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Biggs, the poet.
Thank you.
As you guys are watching, wherever you are, I hope that you follow these artists, like what they're doing. Some of them have books and CDs out. I hope that you will look them up and support them, especially during this time where everyone has the opportunity to be creative. They're giving their soul. So I hope that you take the opportunity to get to know them a little bit and support their work. Right now, we want to keep the show going, and I want to bring in one of the ladies. Please welcome Lynnette Johnson to the stream. Lynnette, good evening. You're on mute. All right, there we go.
All right, there we go.
There we go, sis. How are you doing?
Evening. I feel great. I'm so grateful for opportunities to share like this. It's great to see you. I miss seeing you in person, but I'm glad to be here and see all my friends.
Oh man, listen, I'm not even going to talk. I'm going to let you get to it.
All right.
One of our honorees, alum from the 100 Women of Color,
Oh,
and
yes.
definitely an alum that's graced the stage at Hot Chocolate Soul for many, many years, doing some amazing things in not only Springfield, but the whole New England area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lynnette Johnson to the stream.
Thank you. Black mantra. When you break the tape at the finish line, I feel victorious. I cheer wildly from my living room a million miles away. I believe, no, I know intrinsically. My chanting gave you an extra gust of wind, pushed us to champion. We win. I seek you out in crowded rooms. Even when you're doing your best to blend in, a drop of honey in a sea of beige. We don't always have to know each other to know each other. I always find you. I sweat when they chase you. Wept when they riddle your body with holes, ache with your mother as she heaved over your lifeless shell, emptied of blood and potential. Watch you resurrect into martyr and headline like it was your destiny. When all you ever wanted to do was just be alive and Black at the same time. Maybe grow up, get old, do something regular like, I don't know, breathe. You didn't know you was asking for too much. Such audacity in daring to exist. I wear my hair like yours, so you can recognize me, a member of this fraternal order of locks and knots and curls with height and fragrant concoctions, our crowns, our performance art, an ode to geometry and God, intricate and lovely. You know how we do, how we've always done. A connection to a tribe we ain't certain of and ancestors we can't name, but we honor them anyways. I applaud when you discover love, when you are accepted and partnered, when you build family. I feel like my family is growing. I claim your children, auntie them all up, call out their attributes the world has deemed ugly, and toss flowers at them. Bless their bulbous noses and brilliant mahogany. Bless the way they talk and move, and blessed are the parents who adorn the fruit of their love with an identifier that gives people pause. Those magical names with all the Q's and Z's and tongue twists and apostrophes, I hold you in high regard. I will not be scared of you. I will purchase your products. I will not rejoice in your demise. I will aid in your recovery. I will boast of your genius. I'll spend my voice to dismiss lies. I am not your enemy. I refuse to make you mine. I will not impede your progress. You do not have to lose for me to win. If I shove you, it is only to propel you forward. If you get where I'm going first, send for me and let me in because we are in this together. Thank you. That is Black mantra. Thank you.
Give it up for Miss Lynnette Johnson. Lynnette, thank you so much for that piece.
Thank you.
And I am looking forward to this Q&A to talk about your works and your perspective on what it means to you to represent a woman of color, Black woman, and Black history. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Lynnette Johnson.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next young lady and I have so much amazing history as creatives. When I first met her, or I should say, when I first had the opportunity to be introduced to her, magic happened. And I've seen her grow as a woman, as a creative, as a teacher, and as a mom. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the one we call Mind Evolution.
What up?
Mind, what's going on?
How are you? I miss y'all. I miss you, June. I miss Hot Chocolate Soul. Oh, I miss being outside.
We miss you too. We miss you too. I'm so excited to have you here. And just like the three artists that came before you, I made one phone call. You all said unanimously, like, we are there. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And I thank you. I know my wife Alex thanks you. Ardsley Race thanks you. And we are glad that you are here giving a piece of yourself. I don't know if you have one piece or two pieces, but I know you have something that's going to shake us and give us life. So I'm going to let you get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome. And if you're at home, you have the opportunity to clap, give it up. And welcome to the stream, Mind Evolution.
Y'all can't see me strutting, but I'm strutting on that catwalk to y'all. I miss y'all, beautiful people. Black girl magic is how everyone hears my mother's accent except me. I know what she had to sacrifice to be called American. It's the ability to rep an entire race, being the only brown spot in a bowl of milk. I am part of the beginning. Black women gave birth to the world and breastfed America. More than the sum total of our cornrows, overeducated, overqualified, always underestimated, overlooked and mocked, simultaneously imitated by the critics, like when sixth grade white girls didn't speak because I was different, but grabbed my arm to measure their summer tans against my melanin. Does not know my native language, but mastered the ability to code switch with articulate speech and elevated pitch. Said to be gravity-defying curls dripping in homemade hair grease. Can show up as a teeny weeny afro, be 8 inches in burgundy tomorrow. Tastes like gumbo made in flooded Louisiana kitchens. As good as Patty Pie's 2015 Christmas. Clear throats that swallow pride for paychecks, only earning 58% of the American dollar. It's calmness amid racist comments in the office. The mixture of Borican and Taino Indian, bonchinche and candles burning in botanicas, soul full of the likeness of God and had to manifest through big lip kisses. Tough love whose timeout was sending me outside to get my own switch. Everything and nothing all at the same time. Been told to sit in the back, shut up and take it. Made to apologize for being a victim. Accused of being promiscuous because of our curves. Women secretly envy us. Men openly rape us. Black women. It's okay to be angry and broken at the same time. We are not pillars of strength. It's a higher threshold for pain. Our magic makes this struggle look attractive, being told what we should become while everyone else is racking up bucks impersonating and selling black girl magic. Imitation is not flattery when no credit is given to the original. God was trying to tell us something when Whoopi curled her fingers and said, until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna fail. Black women know your worth. We were stolen because the sun reflecting off melanated skin shines like gold. We are still of the highest value. Thank you.
Woo. All right. So I can't let you, there's another piece.
Yes.
That you got to do for us. I'm just going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream, Mind Evolution.
All right. So in the spirit of where we are, you know, I gotta be honest and truthful. This piece is a little difficult. I haven't done it in a while, but bear with me. Told I was falling for media tricks after I made an angry post about the murder of insert name of Black individual unjustly killed by a frightened police officer here. White people experience police brutality. It's just not publicized, she said. Knows me to be a loving, caring individual, but isn't so sure now because I suggested more people should be outraged when the police murder Black citizens. Made her uncomfortable, she said. I should change my stance because she's uncomfortable. No laws have been changed because I'm frightened. We watch these public executions over and 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 over. We cry and over we get frustrated and over we get angry and over we protest and over we are silenced until we remain silent again every single time. The media sure has tricked us with fairy tale lies. Talk about how sagging jeans make Black men target practice. Bad cops don't see clothes. They just see Black skin as guilty and worthy of execution. Racial profiling is not an urban legend. Colonial invaders believed no country could govern itself unless there were a high degree of white people in charge. My ancestors were shipped to America to learn to be appropriate. Their descendants have been buried alive like coal miners under years of oppression. We are not the violent ones. We suffer from PTSD, purposeful, traumatic, systemic destruction, told to keep up with the American dream, get shot at the finish line, get shot anytime we start catching up at the finish line, land of the free. Built by the slave no one ever wanted to be equal to. Jim Crow never died. It just evolved into a 3-year sentence on Rikers Island, followed by suicide for a stolen book bag. Grew into the monster on the other side of the front door, making brown parents everywhere afraid to release their children in the world, destroying promise and hope, believes I'm seeking revenge instead of equality when I point out her white privilege, sees me as the wicked witch of reverse racism, but she's always been free enough to tell me my anger makes her uncomfortable. Black people will continue to rise like the embers of our ancestors who rose from the fires that burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma, but if they won't stop shooting us, at least show a good cop arresting a bad cop one time so I can play that over and over and over and over. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mind Evolution. Mind, thank you so much for sharing that piece. Appropriate for these times. And we do know that all cops are not bad cops. There are bad people everywhere, no matter what race, color. We just want to get to a place where we all respect and love each other as human beings first. So
and at the very least, can we just get some justice? I'm
saying, let me bring all of our guests in, ladies and gentlemen, so you can meet everyone. Chief, Biggs the Poet, and Lynnette Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for these individuals. They have come into your homes tonight to share a piece of themselves. I want to ask some questions, guys. I want to ask some questions. And I'll shoot this out to Lynnette first. When did you know that you had something in you that needed to be heard?
What a great question. I think I got some really early encouragement that that what I had to say was important from some teachers. And I got kind of voluntold to speak at church. You know, they're like, okay, oh, you can read? Okay, you go on up there. And so I got comfortable in front of a room really early on, but I don't know when I realized that what I had to say was important as much as I liked what happened when I said something. I saw people responding. It was a way to connect with people because naturally I'm a little shy. So I think as a little girl, I got comfortable with talking and it felt like a connection, but I think I was grown when I felt like what I had to say needed to be said. I feel like I don't know what the moment was, but I was good and grown when that shifted for me.
Chief, same question to you. When did you know that you had something inside of you that needed to be heard and shared?
I was in college and I stumbled across an open mic. And I was going through the bitter breakup blues. Excuse me, my light is rotating, won't stay still. I was going through the bitter breakup blues, man, and I remember sitting there watching people perform. I'm like, yo, I can do this. So I read a poem, real sad poem, and after I read it, I'll never forget this. This 55, I was 19 years old. This 55-year-old man came up to me, shook my hand, and he said, "You said something I've been trying to say my entire life." And from that moment there, it was like, I mean, I barely knew anything about anything at 19, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, "You said something I've been trying to say my entire life." And I was like, if my sadness can inspire somebody, then, you know, I'm gonna keep telling stories. So that's kind of how it happened.
For you, Mind Evolution, how long does it take you to actually sit down and write one piece?
Ooh, well, it depends on the piece. The last poem that I performed, I actually have like been writing it for a couple years. Being on the slam team with Chief and Midnight helped me to kind of be more conscious of edits, if that makes sense. And so even though I may write a poem and like when I put it out, like the first like rough drafts, if you will, I'll feel like great about it. But then I'll go back and I'll say, you know, this needs a little bit more here. Or I'll even email it to Chief and be like, yo, help me out. What I need with this. So it could take anywhere from like a day to a month to a year. What I've been trying to do lately is just pick 3 poems that I work on for the whole year and perfect them and get them in me. And, you know, so I can deliver them with as much love and feeling as it moves me. So when you feel it, you feel what I feel, you know.
Is it common for poets to help each other write or try to work out pieces? Is that common?
Yeah. Because
Right.
you need to bounce it off of someone, you know, and who better? Like, this is why all of these people are my friends. Like, they're all on speed dial. I just talked to you earlier this week.
For you, Biggs, how long does it take you to write a piece? Because the pieces that I've heard you perform on stage, a lot of them have to do with your sons and your experiences in life. How long does it take you to come up with, you know, your poems?
It varies, man. To be honest, you know, like some poems, you know, it might take a week. It may take a day. It just all depends. But you know, like when you write, you constantly, some poems just kind of stick with you, right? So over time, you're always making little changes, little tweaks. You know, you might be your emotions when you say it or you perfect it. It just becomes different. So sometimes you add to it, you take away. You may feel like you got too many words in there. You know, you always kind of, and I find myself doing that a lot for like a lot of my poems. But mostly it's just emotions, man. You know, just how, you know, I mean, it's no time where I'm like, all right, I sit down, I'm gonna finish this poem. A lot of poems I start, I never finish. What you like, I probably haven't finished. It felt like it was done, you know.
That was going to be my next question too, and I'll shoot this over to you, Chief. How do you know when it's complete? You know, mine said a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 years. How do you know yourself when it's complete?
I don't think it's ever really complete. I think you get it to a point where you're comfortable enough to perform it, but like we constantly go back to our work and make edits all the time. So I think, you know, as we try to, if you haven't written like a timeless piece, something just you can always read whenever, you kind of like go back and just keep it updated with the time. So I don't think poems are ever really done. You just get comfortable with them, and when you're secure enough to perform them in front of people.
For you, Lynnette, same question.
How do I know when it's done? I think when I've made my point, like if it at the end of it, I've written all the words and it comes together, the metaphor makes sense. I feel like I have enough punch in there that it's going to connect. If I've made my point, it feels done. But like Chief says, there's a poem that I've been doing for almost 20 years that I have updated with new language. I'm like, they gonna know this is from 1998 if I do it like this. Let me change the dance we doing. We ain't doing the butt no more, you know. And so there's to make it relevant. But once you've made the point, it's finished. It's finished.
Now, how does it feel? Like these are your babies. These poems are your babies. How does it feel when you finally give birth to it? Or like a comedian, like a comedian tries out jokes for the first time. How does it feel to give birth? And for some of you who've been at the Hot Chocolate Soul stage, when you give birth to it and the people stand up and it's a standing ovation, like how does that feel?
It is the best feeling in the world. Okay, so first of all, y'all know, like I love getting up on the stage and talking to the audience. And when you get the energy back from the audience, like, or like if I say something and I think it's funny or I think it's like moving and I hear somebody in the audience go, oh, or like they just give me back what I was expecting, that is like, it's the best feeling in the world. Like a comedian, like when you get that punchline, it's like when you get that line, like Chief know what I'm talking about, where we're like, oh, this is it. This is one of them bangers right there. And you get the response you're expecting. It's a great feeling.
On the converse though, like you go to spot A and this poem rocks, and then you go to spot B and everybody's looking at you like, I've had that before. It's a terrible feeling.
This one, for the gentlemen that are on here, we're going through some difficult times before George Floyd and thereafter. Do you find that you write better out of anger, or better when you have a peace of mind that things are kind of going in the right direction, that you can have the space and the energy to write? Like what lends itself better for you to create a very strong piece?
For me, I don't really necessarily think it's anger. It's just emotion. You know, a lot of poems, some of them I write just like, you know, maybe I'll think of something and I'll try to feed off it. But if I don't have an emotional connection to it, it just doesn't feel right. Like those are probably some of the poems that I never finish. You know what I mean? Because I can't connect with it. You know, but definitely, you know, when you see things like Floyd and things happen in our community, it does anger you, it does tell you to write more. But you know, it's always connected for me personally. Like, you know, June, I'm talking always like my kids, my family, you know, different things that connect to me emotionally. That's really when I get the fuel to write, for sure.
Chief, for you, Chief?
I completely agree. It's just, for me, it's about connection. Like it's connection, or it's like a really good idea that you connect to. So it's just about being able to connect to the piece and trying to find a way to say it differently than the next poet would. So like with George Floyd's situation, for example, when that comes on, it weighs on all of our spirits, but everybody's going to tell that story. So we have to now, as a poet, try to find our creative way to deliver that message. You know what I'm saying? So like when my most recent one I was connected was when Chadwick Boseman passed away. Like it weighed on me because I had to tell my son T'Challa died. I wrote the poem. It's like, you know, my son loves Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? But to have to tell him that his favorite superhero passed away was kind of like, you know, it was hard for me. So that was my way of telling that same story and how it impacted me.
Now, Chief, you're in the school system, New Britain High School, I believe. For you, how important is it to be a proud man of color for your Black and brown kids, young men that are in the school, to make sure that you give them the best possible version of yourself, that they have an idea as to how to walk, how to talk, how to wear a belt around their waist, pull their pants up? How important is it to have positive role models in school that look like them?
It's monumental, man. I mean, sometimes you don't even have to speak. You just the presence alone says, you know, the presence alone like commands respect, if you will. So when you walk into a room and it's a tense situation, kids see your presence, like, okay, let me cool out real quick. Or if the kid needs a vent, they're coming to look for you. Even if you know, like I have a roster of kids that I'm supposed to deal with, and I talk to all the kids because they're more comfortable speaking to a man of color or whatever the case may be. But it's monumental for me just to try to be the best representation of positivity and quote unquote success that I can.
For the ladies, in the spirit of Black History Month, I want to ask the both of you. I'll start with you, Lynnette. As a Black woman, what can we do to help you as men of color? You guys have been the pillars of our community. You are the backbone of our communities. It may be a loaded question, I know, but what can we do to help raise our sons, to raise our daughters?
Uh-huh. Well, I think so you're asking as a woman, what can men do more? What can we do? Well, what I would ask is that men see their value. One of the things, the conversations we seem to have is that women aren't valuing men, but I think men aren't valuing themselves. They're not seeing themselves as relevant enough to stick around and be present. They're not seeing themselves as important enough. And clearly, not all men, y'all know, but I think what I would love to see is more. Believe women when they say they're hurting or disappointed, but trust that that's real and true. Treat a woman who says she is not getting enough, that she's been mistreated, the same way you would treat a Black man who said he's been hurt by the police. Give women the benefit of the doubt. Assume that women are doing their best to be loving and supportive, and see where you can add to that, where you can make it easier instead of maybe blaming her for what isn't right in her life. I would love to see men say, ask the question you did, oh, what can I do better? I would love to say that. But I think as a Black woman, what I like to celebrate is we make things happen. I don't want to brag about our resilience or our strength. I think
Why
that
not?
was born out of necessity. Huh?
Why not?
Because I think that was born out of necessity, and I think people see that and think we don't need anything because we're taking care of everything. And so I love what we do for each other. But I think to keep to your original question, I would love to see Black men believe Black women when they say they've been hurt or disappointed. I would love Black men to say, what can I do to be better? Like the question you asked. And I think every situation is different, but I would say to be present, to follow through, to respect women's bodies, to keep their word, to be honest when something is hard, and to take care of their mental health and not lean on women to be therapists, to take care of that like a dentist appointment or getting a checkup. Get your mind right. I cannot be nobody's therapist. I'm sorry. It got real personal for me. I'm sorry. My God, today. I'm gonna hand it over to mine. I see her itching. She's ready.
I'm in the amen choir because we done had plenty of conversations about this. Like I can't even believe I'm on a public forum and I was asked this. Like, when they say always be ready, like, so you don't got to get ready. Like, I feel like I'm not ready. Like, what I need, let me see. Woo, chief. Woo. What we talking about?
Go ahead.
So I think I agree. I need Black men to show up for us. I need y'all to cape for us. I need y'all to like everything Lynnette said, and times 10, because there's this like tug of war kind of happening, and we need each other. Like, we absolutely need each other. We need Black men. We need you guys in our homes, in our communities. We need our sons. We need our fathers. We need our brothers. We need our friends. We need our lovers. We need you. Like, it's not us versus them kind of thing. It's like all we're asking for is please just show up. Just show up. Just show up. Like I heard a comment once that said, you don't have to be perfect as long as you're present. So
all right,
be present.
We've been having this conversation. Everyone is talking about equality, inclusion. What can we do moving forward in the education space to allow everyone, Black, white, Hispanic, polka dot, and other, to understand and respect what we all need to understand about Black history moving forward? I'll start with you, Chief.
The interesting thing about that is in New Britain, we are actually funding an initiative right now where we're looking for minority education professionals who are interested in teaching, and we're going to like fund some of the program to allow them to get into the program, to be more present, to have more presence of color in our schools. I think another thing would be monumental would be to look from within. Oftentimes in educational settings, we go outside of the box and looking for these special programs to come in and talk to our staff and to our students. When you have a population of people who offer a variety of different skill sets that can connect with the kids, and we don't tend to look from within. We go pay tens of thousands of dollars for this company XYZ to come in and talk to our kids when you got a house full of people who can do the same job, if not better, and have already established rapport with these kids.
Lynnette, what does Black history mean to you moving forward?
Black history, what does it mean to me? I mean, it's like it's everything. I think one of the things I realized as I was older is that we have had something to do with everything. I think our people are innately innovative. Anything that people like, that they're into, any trend, anything someone is excited about, a Black person did it, made it, built it, created it. So I think what I would love to see is, February is dedicated to it, but that we are weaving Black history into American history as standard practice, that we are always talking about our contributions side by side, not just in February. So I would love to see it extended. I see some school districts are adding it as part of the curriculum. I would love for white children to be as excited to learn about what everyone did as Black children are, and not to see it as, well, there are a few things Black people did, So I'd love to see it weaved into the curriculum. And I'm embarrassed about the things I've learned after I turned 40. I'm like, why ain't nobody tell me about the Black ladies at NASA? Why ain't nobody told me this over here? So I'd love more of it, and not have to wait for a movie to be made to find out something happened up the street or that we're connected. So more, just more celebrations of our contributions all the time, and not just February.
No, that's dope. That's dope. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope that those that are watching, that are listening at home, I hope that you got something out of it, that you enjoyed this performance. Please follow them, like them. They are on social media. They have projects out. When this thing gets better, they will be in your town. They'll be on your stages. Please go and support them. They are doing some amazing work. And before I let you all go, I just want to tell you all, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for always supporting anything that I wanted to put out in terms of a platform. You guys are deserving, and you guys are going out into the community, and you're educating and you're sharing your gift. Continue to do that. You're going to be blessed exponentially because of it. I don't have to tell you that, but we were blessed tonight. And Chief, thank you. Biggs, thank you. Lynnette, thank you. Mine, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Any parting words? But Mine, I'm going to put you on the spot. So any parting words before we leave?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Sure, man. June, appreciate it, man. Always showing love in the community, man. You've been a pillar in our community for years. Our friendship is built over time, man. You're a good dude, man. You're doing great things. Keep inspiring us and showing us the way, man. Much love to you, brother.
No, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to put you all backstage, but Mine, you're going to stay there because this is what I'm going to do. Mine, there's a piece that you have called Mind Evolution.
Yes.
I want you to take us out with that piece.
All right.
If you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stream, doing this amazing piece, Before You Go, Mind Evolution. Take it away.
Mind evolution, the element that reasons, the totality of conscious and unconscious mental process and activities, intellectual power or ability, a state of awareness or remembrance, a gradual process in which something changes into a different and usually better form. Like a quiet storm that builds, I sneak up behind you with words that heal. If words could kill, I'd be a mass murderer. They'll be saying things like, yo, you never heard of her? She'll take your head off and shove spoken word down your throat. Quickly put you back together before you croak. No joke. This sister wrote a rhyme that brought back a lifeline on a dead guy stuck in a bind between a rock and a hard place. Selling rock on the paper chase. Got the feds on his case because he liked money at a fast pace. Running so hard but still losing the race. Didn't have a father to embrace, so he smokes and drinks to try and erase displaced emotions of abandonment. Then he heard this poem and noted my lyrical content was created for empowerment with a dash of entertainment. This is why I can't contain this. My mind is in a constant state of involvement. I'm involved with everything while at this mic standing still because I took the time to read, didn't need to swallow a red or blue pill. I am a prophecy because when I was 12 years old, this moment is what the prophets would see. 12 years from now, they'll be talking about me in the past and future tense because I'm an ancestor and your next descendant, a relative that's always relevant, and you can't relate unless you've been through it. I don't talk about it. I just do it. Some said I couldn't, but I stand here in proof of it. Like Mira said, I am not just a poet. I'm a woman, full-figured and fully aware. My hair signifies strength, just like my words. I heard I'm ugly by the world's beauty code, but a knockout by my own. Well-loved and well-grown. I'm a cutie that's juicy with thick thighs. I make rivers run dry. Wipe tears of friends who cry. Only deal with truth, so I never lie. I spit rhymes. I'm an actress that can rock movie lines and red carpets with no panty lines. I'm building legacies, so mind evolution never dies. Teach my children to do better, so we always rise. Make you believe I heal boo-boos with one kiss. Hold the spot on your top 5 list. Carry worlds on my shoulders, so I'm blessed with hips. I'm a teacher, a chef, and a maid that made standards rise. I set bars high. Well, I get you high off information. My creation was not an accident. I was meant to stimulate minds and still breath. To recover from my loving takes 12 steps. I stay 12 steps ahead because life is like chess. And this queen is looking for a mate to check. And I'm not afraid to rock the angry black woman banner across my chest because I was sent here to express where my sisters are coming from. We are diamonds and butterflies, but that image we have run from. And I stand here singing now for my brothers who've been unsung. Abdul, Daryl, Jason, Danny, Troy, Melaquan, Antoine, Dana, and Donnie. And for all the men standing far and near beside me who handle responsibilities and understand child support is all things and much more than monetary. I say things clearly so y'all can hear me. Life is merely decisions made during a survival test. And with that conclusion, I've just introduced you to mind evolution.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mind Evolution, Lynnette Johnson, Biggs the Poet, and Michael Chief Peterson. I am June Archer. I want to thank you guys for letting us into your homes, into your streams. I hope that you had a great time. Once again, thank you to Ardsley Race, A&G Insurance, 1128 Entertainment. We thank you so much for supporting us. Happy Black History Month. Learn something, share something, learn something new. I promise you, you'll be better because of it. And we could come together as one to love each other as human beings first. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm June Archer. God bless y'all. Please like us, love us, share the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have so much more going on over the next couple of weeks. We appreciate it. God bless y'all. Good night.